Hello, I'm Sinead, and welcome to Craft and Chat. Today I'm going to do a little bit of drawing while we have our little chat. So let's turn the camera around and get started. Well, remember our little mouse from last week? I continued to work with the base idea because I've been wanting to make a mouse pattern, and this is how he's changed, and the end result still has a string tail because I actually really like that. This will be a free pattern on my website, and I'm waiting to post it until I've made a video tutorial explaining how it goes together, because there won't be any written instructions. Now, if that's something you just desperately want, is written instructions, then let me know and I'll see what I can do. I have a pretty clear idea of what I want to do with this, but I haven't spent any time sketching any ideas out. I'm just gonna jump in and start drawing. The talking apparently becomes difficult when I'm drawing. I didn't know that. Oh, I should have, but I didn't. Let's see, what colors do I want in this? And do you find that that outline on this helpful or actually somewhat of a hindrance? So these are watercolor pencils, and I will add a little bit of water, not a whole lot, because this is being cardstock, it's not going to handle that really well. And I'm wanting to abandon this already because I've got this other idea in my head, and I want to run screaming in the other direction. So I've been working on the tutorial for the fairy house, and I am really close on that. It's not finished, but it is definitely getting closer. It takes a lot more time to do a tutorial than it does to craft. The time taken to just craft something is a matter of a couple of hours. I have, and I might have spent a total of 6 hours on the dollhouse or the fairy house without a camera running. But as soon as the camera's running, it slows you down, and I have spent 4 or 5 days doing just the video portion, and I've spent it's going to be another 2, maybe 3 days on the editing. I should have cut out the little thing here. Window box. So this week, earlier this week, I finally cleaned up Yule. Yule had been, we were avoiding it. We had, most of the decorations were down, but not all of them. Pretty much really just not wanting to work on it, I guess. Anyway, and it was what was left in the dining room. And so I finally got in there and took that down, which motivated me to clean out the secretary, which is where I used to keep a lot of the crafting things, like for making the wands and whatnot, the fairy wands. And I got in there and I found the tin that the teddy bears that I used to take with me. Here's the tin. The sewing kit I mentioned last week. And there's my little stuffing finish nail. There's still a needle in here that is threaded with silk thread, and there's black thread for the detailing, and lots of little scraps. And I also remembered how I was like, how did I cut that out? I don't even remember. Well, this lovely pair of pliers used to travel with me a lot, and inside it there's a pair of scissors. And these scissors used to be some of the best, sharpest scissors. Now they're kind of stiff. I think my tool needs some attention. And when I didn't have this one, I had a smaller executive version. So I always had a tiny pair of scissors in my pocket, and I'd totally forgotten that because I don't anymore. So that was a fun discovery. And I also found a dress. This fabric is a very sentimental striped fabric that I've had for a long time, and I was making it into a dress, but I guess the French seams here were more than I wanted to deal with, and I don't know, it just got set aside. But it's got a collar, a satin collar that's supposed to go on it, and hopefully I'll get that finished because I think it will fit the Kessner. So another delightful little discovery tucked into the secretary. So when you see and think of a window box, what kinds of flowers do you picture in your window box? I had a total idea of what I was going to sit down and do here was going to be the exterior walls, but I think I'm going to end up doing flowers the whole time. I just didn't think about how long it takes to do flowers. Let's see. Let's pull in another color. So recently I read a post that someone made about saving their toys from childhood for their children, and how their children were less than enthusiastic, and how disappointed they were that their kids didn't think that that was, you know, as wonderful as they thought it was. And I don't think that you can guarantee a kid's reaction, but it's been my experience that kids will be more enthusiastic about something that as the parent you've been sharing all along. Like, this was great aunt Della's doll, and you know, it's seen a lot of things, and you just kind of share that as they're growing up. They're not allowed to touch the doll, I mean, without supervision or anything, but they hear about the doll, they see the doll, it's there. And when they get old enough, and this goes for teddy bears too, when they get old enough, you know, to be responsible, you then they're allowed to play with it, and the excitement is usually there because it was something out of reach, and all of a sudden it's a milestone, a rite of passage to be able to play with the doll. And anyway, it's, you know, when you save the dolls and teddy bears and cars and trucks in a box up in the attic, and you bring it out when the kid is the age you think is going to be appropriate, and they haven't ever seen the toy before, and they don't know what it means to you, it's harder for them to get excited for that because, well, it's an old toy, and I mean, they probably are going to be wanting that other toy that Johnny down the street's got, not your old worn out doll or toy. Which is too bad, but I mean, and sometimes these kids, even if they had no, you know, toy's been put away, and all of a sudden they get introduced to it and they get enthusiastic. So there's no guaranteeing that you'll get one reaction or the other, but it just, you know, occurred to me that sometimes the thing that you would help with reaction might just be giving it place of honor before you ever let the child play with it. And now, let's see, I think, oh, is that other orange? I keep missing it. I keep wanting the darker orange and picking up the lighter orange. One more orange flower. Observations of life. I'm pretty sure when I add water to that, those are going to blend and there'll be an orangey green or a blue green. But since I can't add a lot of water, it'll be interesting to see what it does. Let's see. So I don't get to, or don't have a lot of success gardening with real flowers. I planted some violets in a planter that then spread on the ground, but I haven't seen any of them yet this year, and there were fewer last year than there had been the year before. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up. And the grape hyacinths are fun to see, but they did a lot of spreading the first year we had them out there, and then they have not done a whole lot. And like I said, I don't have a lot of successes. I have planted more seeds that have done absolutely nothing. Wild flowers, and I get a couple flowers. You know, it's supposed to be a large amount, and it's not. I mean, I don't get that kind of result. That's just, maybe I don't give it the attention I should. So now I'm running into that pink line and going, maybe that wasn't the best idea. I want another color, but I want it to be bright. I would have tulips and violets and crocuses and pansies, which are light violets but bigger. Oh, I need to plant those. I can't remember what they're called either. Oh, they were orange and red. I do remember that, which is probably why we've got so much orange and red going on here. Orange and yellow and red. Yeah. So whenever I try to plant things from seed, they limited success. When I get starts, they do kind of okay. And part of that could be the weather. Are you a green thumb? Do you have the ability to just touch a plant and it just loves you and blossoms and grows and does all the fun things? Delightful gardening fun things. Well, I think that that's gonna be it for today. Get some green going on there, and I will probably put some green on the actual planter. And is this something you're looking forward to? Is the painted version of the fairy house? Are you looking forward to decorating your own? And let me know. I hope you enjoyed our chat and the drawing, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.